Guys, I love this season. What's going on, guys? So if you're new to the channel, welcome in. The name is Leo Rydell. This is Geekly Goods, and here we talk the latest in movies, TV, Marvel, DC. Guys, any corner of the geekverse we can talk about, we're talking about it. So go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below, and let's talk today about Stranger Things Season 4. Guys, I got a lot of things I cannot say. Thank you so much to Netflix for sending this to me for early review, but I cannot say a lot of things. So I'm going to be kind of beating around the bush a bit, but let's talk about it, guys, because let's talk about why this could very well be my favorite season. I don't know. I'm still a little bit between this and Season 1, but wow, this is a really good contender for that #1 spot for me, guys. Look, Season 4, I think, steps it up in so many ways. Let's start with the positives, guys, and I'm just going to talk about the technicals first. I'm just going to talk about the cinematography, the camera work, of course, the visual effects. They just step everything up so much, guys. I mean, they really bring a lot more horror themes into this season. I mean, this is mature on so many more levels than just the ages of the actors, guys. There's a lot more horror, there's a lot more scares, a lot more to really look around the corner for here in this season, guys. It really steps the horror notch up a bit, and it really does bring up the cinematography, the visuals, and so many other things. Man, let's talk about some of the storylines, though, because there are some really cool stories that I enjoy this season. We follow some of the crew in some parts, and we follow some of the other crew in other parts. Some people I can't even mention, y'all, but I really love, there's some characters I really love this season, man. Steve, always one of my favorite characters, loved him this season. Dustin, Lucas, there are some really great characters this season, and they get some good arcs per usual, guys. I mean, Stranger Things is known for its character writing, and they do such a great job here with select characters, especially the 3 that I named. Really love where we go with Steve's story arc and things like that. We also get a couple of new characters. We get a new character, Eddie Munson, who is this rock guitarist who is in the quote-unquote Hellfire Club, which is the Dungeons and Dragons club that Lucas, Mike, Dustin, and those 3 are in the beginning of the series. And this guy, Eddie Munson, you really get to love his character just like they do with every other season. We had Alexi for Season 3. We had other characters in Seasons 1 and 2. Barb in Season 1. Look, man, they really know how to make these very enjoyable characters, guys. I really liked what they did with these characters. Like the actor who stepped in for Eddie Munson, I can't quite remember his name, but man, so good. Joe Keery really demands that camera, man. This guy is so magnetic. I love his Steve. Does a great job this season. Dustin, great character. I'm loving continuing his arc as well, guys. Max, Lucas, I really like a lot of the characters this season, but guys, let's be 100% real. 11 is on point. What they do with 11 and her story arc, and where they really take the journey of Jane Hopper, aka 11, and what they do with it this season is just, it's awesome. Like, honestly, I think it's one of the best 11 stories we're gonna get. I mean, this far in her arc is really well told. You've already seen the first 8 minutes, so you know there's a lot going on here already within those first 8 minutes. So you gotta know that this arc for 11 is great. I mean, guys, it's just so horrifying this season. So horrifying. We also follow, of course, Nancy and Jonathan. While I think Jonathan's story is a little weaker, and I'll get to that in a little bit later, I do think Nancy gets a really good part in this season, a great part to play, and I'm very excited to see the second half of this season so that we can see some more with that character as well. Guys, there's a lot to talk about that unfortunately I cannot talk about, but also the music is really great per usual. They have some great needle drops in this season. Detroit Rock City was one of them, thought was fantastic. Won't spoil the others, but that was just one that just like made my heart sing with this season, guys. There are so many great things about this season. Really enjoy the cast. Man, dude, Sadie Sink as Max, she's great. Natalia Dyer's awesome as Nancy. Man, I really enjoy these characters. Caleb McLaughlin as Lucas, guys, so good, so good. And you've kind of got this this bit of like the jocks versus the geeks this season a little bit too. They get into that a little bit as well, but I don't want to spoil and dive too deep. But there's some story revolving around Lucas with that, and that's all I'm gonna say. So I really enjoy where they take the characters this season. And man, 11 story arc. I'm back on that, y'all. It's just so good. So let's get into a couple things that didn't quite work, and I think this happens every season, but there are just certain stories in this season, unfortunately, that do get sidelined. There are just some stories that really get sidelined. But oh, let me also mention the villain of this season. Gosh, so good, guys. I'm not gonna reveal any names or abilities or anything like that. I can't go into detail, but this villain, wow, puts the Mind Flayer and all the other villains to shame. Like, honestly, just like I said, the series is maturing, so did the villain. But let's go back to some things that didn't work. Sidelined, unfortunately, are some of the characters and some of their stories this season. But that typically happens every season, I think. Season 3, it was particularly Jonathan and Nancy. Kind of got sidelined a bit, and then in season 2 there were characters that got sidelined. Like, a lot of the characters have so many different things going on that there's like some sidelining that goes on here. So definitely some sidelines. And also, it's, you know, there are some lulls in a couple episodes, but honestly, again, this is almost up there with season 1 for me, guys. I think it's neck and neck right now. I'm gonna have to do another rewatch just to really solidify, is this my number 1 or not, guys? Because I'm so in between. But guys, Stranger Things 4. If I had to give a rating out of 10, guys, I'm going a strong 9 out of 10. Stranger Things 4, strong all around. Visually, the cinematography, the story, the character arcs. Of course, love these characters, love where they're taking them. The villain is great this season. I mean, great villain. I'm upset I didn't start the conversation with that because the villain is excellent. And so many just really positive things about this season, guys. Y'all gotta let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What you're anticipating most about this season. How do you feel after seeing the first 8 minutes? What do you think? What are your predictions? Let me know down in those comments down below, guys. Let's sound off, talk about Stranger Things down in the comments, and I will definitely have a spoiler review. I will have reactions, guys. We got content coming on Stranger Things. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for your boy, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.